Welcome to Garden of Lights. I'm Susan Howington, Family Consumer Science Agent with the Henry County Cooperative Extension, partnership with the University of Georgia Cooperative Extension. Today we're going to talk about green beans, and we're also going to hear from Frank Hancock, our Agriculture and Natural Resource Agent, and he's going to be talking about a sod farm. So we'll see you back in just a little bit on Garden of Lights. Welcome back to Garden of Lights. Today we're talking about green beans, and I love green beans, and the best time to buy green beans, like I always say, buy them in season. Let's talk about these green beans. These are one of my favorite green beans. You know, there's different varieties out there, so you'll have to figure out what your variety is that you like, but I do think there's a lot of different varieties out there that you can have a good choice about green beans. They are so good for us. They are low in cholesterol, fat-free, sodium-free. Calorie-wise, about a half a cup is only 15 calories. So you're getting a lot of green beans. If you're going to eat a cup of green beans, that's only 30 calories. So you can see you're not doing too bad. It's also loaded with vitamin A, C, and B. So not only that, it's going to give you wonderful fiber for your diet. So consider green beans as far as the nutrition part goes. Now, selecting those green beans, whether it's a grocery store or out in your garden, whichever way you're going to pick them, you do want to find some that are very firm, and you want to make sure they don't have any bruises and any decay on them, because you don't want any green beans like that. You also want to make sure that they snap really easy, and this one is a really good snappable green bean. So usually you want to take the ends off when you're cooking green beans, or if you're stir frying green beans, however you're going to fix them. It's important that you look for those firm, crisp green beans, good green color also. As far as your storage goes, when you buy your green beans, you can put them in your refrigerator for about 7 days, which is a good deal, a long time. But I wouldn't try to go exactly those 7 days. If you have a purpose for them, like cooking them, which is wonderful, they freeze wonderful. You can take green beans and freeze them on a cookie sheet after you have prepped them as far as the prepping goes for canning. Put them on a green beans on a cookie sheet, freeze them just a little bit, and you can put them into a freezer bag, and they are wonderful later on in the season when you're ready for those fresh green beans again. So you can see green beans are wonderful for us as far as our nutrition part, and just wonderful as far as selection goes, and also for storage. You're going to remember 7 days, okay? So don't forget that. Now, when we come back, we're going to be making a green bean casserole. But first, we're going to see what Frank's going to be doing out at that sod farm. And I know you're going to learn a lot of good things. So we'll see you back in just a little bit on Garden of Lights.
Okay, today we're out here at LGS Farm talking to Ben Barnett. LGS has got a sod farm here in Henry County, which is not a common thing for this part of the state, but they've got a really nice operation here. So I thought we'd come in here and let Ben tell us a little bit about the sod farm here. So I think y'all started this operation about 2015, somewhere in there.
We did. We bought the farm in 2015, the spring of 2015, and started our massive grading operation here. It took a lot of grading, a lot of dirt moving to see what you see today. And we sold our first grass in the September of 2015 here at the farm.
Okay, what variety of grass are you growing here?
We grow a variety of Bermuda called Tifway 419. Which is the most common variety of turf grass that you see on golf courses and residential applications.
And I noticed they're out here digging some today. I guess you stay pretty busy moving sod in this area?
Yes, sir. We're open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 o'clock for pre-order grass. We usually try to get a day in advance notice on our cut, and that keeps us rolling pretty busy.
Okay. And so after you cut the sod, how long does it take it to grow back? What happens after you cut it?
Once we cut it, it kind of leaves an uneven surface, so we come back in with a scrape blade and a roller and smooth that area back out. It takes about 6 months, depending on the part of the year that we're in, but 6 months average to grow back the turf that we dig today.
Okay. And you got the irrigation going on here in the background. You got a big irrigation pond back there.
Yes, sir.
That you're pumping water out of.
Yeah, we have 2 irrigation ponds, roughly about 15 acres of water. When you see the irrigation behind us running, it's pumping about 500 gallons a minute. So it takes a lot of water to run this place. We've got 4 wells that produce about 200 gallons a minute that run 24/7 during the growing season. They produce about 8.5 million gallons a month that keeps our ponds full, that what we don't get from the rainfall. And so yeah, it takes a lot of water here to keep this place running and keep it watered.
Keep the sod looking good. I guess that also would be important for the consumer who winds up with the sod and needs to water it pretty good to get it established.
Yes.
And not let it just sit out there and be dry.
That's right.
But, so your main customers, I guess you sell to the public here?
We do.
And I guess your main customers are landscapers and that sort of thing?
Yeah, we've got several larger landscapers that we cater to here, but we want to make it known that we do take orders from anyone needing any grass. We'd love to help anybody. That just feel free to give me a call and we'll try to get you taken care of.
All right. And I think what we want to do is go back over here and let's take a look at a place where y'all cut sod this year and just take a look at how fast it comes back and how it comes back after you prepare it and smooth it out to get it to come back.
Absolutely.
Okay, now we've moved over here to another spot on the sod farm. We were talking earlier about how long it takes this sod to grow back. And so we're in a little patch here that was cut, you say about 60
days ago. Mm-hmm.
And so you can start to see how these stolons are running across here. You had mentioned about 6 months before it gets back to being...
That's right, about 6 months. This time of year to be able to cut this again. We hope to have this ready before we go into dormancy this fall.
Okay, and we got another pond back here behind us. So you got 2 irrigation ponds. We drove by one of them getting over here. We saw the irrigation system running over on the other side. And Ben is also one of our cattlemen, and he's got some cattle over here on the other side of this pond. He sells grass-fed beef, so if you need some grass-fed beef, you can call him also. You can buy some sod or some beef.
Right.
And I think what we're going to do now is we're going to go back inside and see what Susan is cooking for us today.
Welcome back to Garden of Lights. We're going to be making a tasty green bean salad. And I know you learned a lot just watching Frank at that sod farm, and I hate that I missed it. But I am definitely going to talk to him about it and see what all they learned out at that sod farm. So let's make this green bean salad. The green bean salad is really easy to make, and what I've done already is I've already prepped the green beans, and the recipe is going to say you need about a pound of green beans. So I've already cooked the green beans. They are ready to go. What else you need to add to those green beans is about a half a cup to a cup, but I went to 1.5 cups on my wonderful cherry tomatoes because I love tomatoes, and these actually came out of my garden. So I was excited to have my own add to this recipe. So we got our onions next that's going to go in there. So that's about 1.5 cups of the tomatoes. And in the recipe, you can cut them in halves, but I did in quarters because I really want them to be like bite-sized. So when you pick up everything, it's really easy for you to eat. So in the recipe, I'm going to go ahead and cut this red onion in half. I've already got it peeled and everything. And in the recipe, it is going to tell you about 3 tablespoons. And I'm going to do them in that julienne look, and that's like just slicing them very thin. And I'm just going to add this to those green beans. So I'm going to separate them out. I'm going to get just a little bit more because I really like onions. So, and I really like red onions too. So that's probably good enough. And I'm just going to separate this out into the salad. And it just makes it really, really pretty looking too. It just adds the color. So I'm going to separate those out. And the onions smell really, really good. And you could chop the onions if you wanted to, but I just like this style. Just kind of adds to it. So that's about 3 tablespoons because you just want to add just a little bit of onion. You don't have to add. But if you like onion and you want to add another part, you know, a couple more tablespoons of onion, feel free to do that. I'm just going to go ahead and put this back in my bowl. So what I have next is what I want to do really next is I have olive oil. It's about 3 tablespoons. And I also have lemon juice, which is about 2 tablespoons. And what I really want to do is to pour the lemon juice into the olive oil because I really want to emulsify a little bit before I add it to everything else. So I'm just going to stir this around and get it kind of mixed up because when you do that, it just kind of emulsifies. It makes it a little bit thicker, and that's kind of what I want it to do. So the next thing I'm going to do is I have a little bit of salt and pepper to taste, and I'm going to go ahead and add that also to that. So I'm going to whisk this around just a little bit. And I am going to end up adding this to about 2 to 3 tablespoons of parsley already chopped up, and this is about 2 teaspoons of garlic, minced garlic. So that's already together too. So what I'm going to do is pour this in the lemon juice and the oil together and the season. And what I want to do is whisk this together. And this is going to be poured over those green beans and give it a really nice flavor. But before I do that, I'm going to add one more ingredient to the green beans, and this is about a cup of feta cheese. So what I want to do now, so I'm going to try to stack some of this up, is I am going to just kind of toss this around because I want the green beans, the feta cheese, and the onions kind of mixed. This is so pretty, and this is such a way to cool off for the summer, eat healthy, and eat in season, what's in season. So, you know, when you have those tomatoes coming in, those green beans coming in, you know, put it together and you've got a wonderful meal. So we have that kind of mixed up, and now what I'm going to do is pour this mixture on top and kind of toss it in. And this is just going to give it a nice flavor to the green beans. And it's so simple, but it's so tasty. So I'm going to put this to the side. I'm just going to toss this. So I've got all that good mixture of the olive oil, the lemon juice, and lemon juice to me just adds to the green beans. So you just mix it all together like this, and you have got, and I just put some on the table, and I'm going to get every scrap that I have because it's really good. So we're going to just mix it up like this, and you have a wonderful green bean salad. But we haven't finished yet. I love nuts, and I love different type of nuts, but for this salad, I have chose cashew nuts, and I've chopped them up coarsely. And so what I'm going to do, and I also toasted them, but you want to add them toward the end because you want that crunch also with the green beans. So I'm just going to add those. This is about 1/2 cup, and I just kind of toasted them after I crunched them up. And so this will give a little taste to the green beans also. So you've got your green bean salad with a little bit of nuts on top. And this is going to be a wonderful way for you to eat healthy during the summertime when everything is in season. When we come back, we'll be tasting this. So we'll see you back in just a little bit on Garden Delights. Welcome back to Garden Delights. Well, Frank, we have a really refreshing green bean salad with cashews in it.
Green bean salad. Okay.
And it is going to be very tasty, so I know you're going to like it. So I'm going to grab some up, and I'm going to use my tongs and see if I can't grab everything.
How many
that
beans
way.
you think are in there?
Well, the recipe says for 1 pound, so I'm trying to give you that. Do you like red onions?
That'd be good.
All right, there you go.
All right. You know,
want
a
any
lot
more?
of big corporations hire bean counters.
Ah,
We may need one for this show.
We may need one.
It's good.
I like the dressing. It gives it a little, the lemon juice gives it a little bit of kick to the green beans. And of course, it has feta cheese in it too, so I like the cheese taste.
I guess you could cut the long ones,
You could.
because the long ones are like eating spaghetti. Probably not too good to do on TV.
Well, that would be an idea for sure. Of course, I have to have some onion too.
I see people on TV all the time trying to spill the beans.
Well, I hate I missed the sod farm, but I heard y'all had a good
The sod
time.
farm's good. Sod farm's interesting. We got the only sod farm in Henry County we went to. Had a lot of sod.
I heard it was really fascinating. I just had some cashews, and that cashew tastes good too. The nuts taste really good. That is very tasty.
I like it. It's good.
You need to check out the recipe on the website because I know you're going to love it. And Frank and I will see you next time on Garden of Lights.
Bean me up, Scotty.